Well, good morning. This is Rich. It's Monday. It's time for the match review of Ipswich Town versus Pep Guardiola's Manchester City yesterday at Portman Road. Firstly, please hit the like button. Let's go for 160 likes, and we've smashed through the 8,200. So hit subscribe if you haven't already, and just get involved in the comments. Normally we have loads of comments on these match reactions, as I've got a bit of a runny nose. But yeah, cheers for watching. Anyway, yesterday Town took on the mighty Manchester City at Portman Road. First time we've played them in the Premier League since 2001. That night, Town relegated City with a 2-1 victory as we were making our way to Europe. How times have changed. And yeah, it was a really, really difficult game, let's just say, yesterday. Town made 5 changes to the starting 11. Christian Walton was in goal, contrary to the team that was floating around yesterday morning. Ben Godfrey comes in on the right-hand side. Wolfie loses his place. Dara O'Shea drops in the middle. Cam Burgess comes back in for Jacob Greaves. Ben Johnson replaced Wes at right wing-back. Leif Davis was on the left. Skipper Morsey in the centre of midfield came back in because obviously Calvin Phillips couldn't play alongside Jens Kajust. Amari Hutchinson kept his place. Jack Clark came in for Nathan Broadhead, and Liam Delap led the line again. So that was 5 changes for Town. Maybe a couple too many in hindsight. Not sure. We had the quick turnaround, didn't we? We played Thursday night. City had another 2 days recovery than we did. So that's obviously why Kieran's changed it up. But I thought for the first 27 minutes, Town were in the game and they matched City, and we sat in and we made it difficult. And then when we could get out and break, we looked quite dangerous. Yeah, Delap had a shot blocked. Amari has another one that I think that flicked off Haaland's head, just goes over the bar from a free kick. That was a good strike. Jack Clark looked quite bright. A couple of runs, nice little back heel. And then obviously Dara O'Shea, I think, has a header from a corner straight at Edison. And you're thinking, yeah, we're in the game here. But we all knew that to get a result yesterday, Town had to be virtually perfect as far as that was concerned. And we needed to get a goal. We needed to have a bit of luck. Christian Walton has a great save, one-on-one from Walton, from Haaland. He doesn't save from himself. Yeah, Erling Haaland. 9.5-year contract in the bag. But then obviously City, 3 quick goals before half-time. Foden, Kovacic from the edge of the box, and Phil Foden with a third that probably Christian Walton should save. I've not seen the goals back. I haven't watched Match of the Day 2 yet. I'll probably have a look later on. But 3-0 down. It all come down our right-hand side, their left. Doku was causing a lot of problems. De Bruyne kept getting in behind. And yeah, it was really difficult for us after that first goal. And then obviously second half, we come out. Ben Johnson has a good strike, good save from Edison, and then it's just it's another 3 goals rather quickly. Doku gets on the score sheet. Haaland gets his goal, and then James McAtee off the bench with a header. So 6-0 on, I think, what was that, 68 minutes, and it's looking like it could get really, really ugly. But we did manage to somehow get through that last 25 minutes. We didn't have a lot of the ball. It was painful to watch sitting there. But I think sometimes, right, you just have to enjoy watching the opposition. We've been here before. We've seen teams like Forest Green and Morecambe down at Portman Road. And when the opposition come, and they're Man City, and they're still one of the best teams in the world, and I know they've not had the greatest of seasons, and I know some people will use the term that Town weren't good enough, we're embarrassing. I don't get that at all. From where we were 2 years ago, and then we're playing Manchester City, and look, we have spent 130 million. I know a lot of people say that, but that's just to sort of be competitive at the bottom of the table in this league. The gap it's unsurmountable as far as I'm concerned. It's absolutely huge. And nobody wants to lose 6-0. I'm not saying I enjoyed losing 6-0 yesterday. I didn't. I'm a Town fan. I remember losing 6-0 to Liverpool back in the Premier League, and that was painful at the time. But you've just got to take your medicine. They've beaten teams a lot better than Town by a lot of goals. So did Town show their best yesterday? No, they didn't. You know, we weren't really at it. It was after the second goal went in, it was a little bit of sort of heads seemed to drop. But it is easy to say. You know, it's easy to say this player should have done that, he should have done that, we should have played this player. But I don't think it's a case of digging people out when we've just lost to the champions of England. And you look at the trophies that Pep's won in his time. Look at the players they bring. They're bringing on Jack Grealish. He's a £100 million player. We've spent £130 million on 9 players. So let that just sink in. And obviously they changed it up a little bit, didn't they? Second half. Obviously they've got PSG in the week. So they might have gone a little bit easier on Town. When it got to 6-0, I did think this could be 8 or 9. But it wasn't, and we showed a bit, and the crowd were excellent. You know, those who stayed. People can pick and choose what they want, and if they want to go home early, that's down to them. But you sat at Portman Road watching Town play Cheltenham and Lincoln and Forest Green, and now you're playing Man City, and you're leaving with 20 minutes to go. I don't really get it. I will stay till the end, and it doesn't make me a better fan than anybody. That is not what I'm saying, but just enjoy. One of the best teams you'll probably ever see at Portman Road. One of the best managers that's ever been in this country. Just enjoy it. And then there was a kid along from us. He's got a sign. Haaland can have your shirt. Haaland gives him his shirt when he comes off. That blows my mind. We're not tourists. Come on. We're here to watch Ipswich Town. Some people want to come and they just enjoy that Premier League experience. And that's one part of the Premier League that I absolutely hate. You get your tourists. You get your day trippers. I'm having a bit of a rant here. Sorry. But, yeah, that's nonsense. Another thing that's nonsense is when our new signing comes on and now all of a sudden we're calling him Jaden. Absolute bullshit. His name's Jaden Philogene. Woke nonsense. Yeah, stuff like that. It's just... And another thing. Was it Nunes, their right-sided centre-back? What was going on with your socks, man? Jesus Christ. How many holes do you want in the back of them? Yeah. Anyway, back to the game. 6-0. Crowd fantastic at the end there who stayed. And we're going to need the fans to stay with the players from now until the end of the season because there's going to be difficult moments. Obviously, we go to Anfield on Saturday, which I'm really, really looking forward to. It's been one on... Look, I've been to Anfield a lot of times, but it's not many times you're going to go to Anfield and it's going to be your birthday. So I'm staying up in Liverpool. We're going up on the Saturday morning, go to the game, out afterwards. So I'm really looking forward to it. Like, my boys have never been to Anfield. And I don't want to be a day tripper. I want to go there and see Town give the best version of themselves, you know. And I'm sure there'll be some hard talking this morning when they get back in and they'll be analysing the game. Look, we have to learn, we have to analyse, and we have to improve. That's the 3 words I would say. Learn, analyse, improve, you know. If we go to Liverpool and we lose, which we're probably going to do, look, I'm not holding out a lot of hope of going to Anfield and getting a result, but let's make it difficult. Let's not... I'm not saying the players gave up yesterday, but it was a little bit of heads dropped. One bright spark, I think, was Jaden Philogene when he came on, and I know it's difficult to get into a game when you're 5 or 6-0 down and you're a new signing, but I thought the touches he had on the ball, he looked sharp. He's probably going to play off that left-hand side, which is probably going to be harsh on Nathan Broadhead, who's played well in the last few games, but we have got a lot of ammunition now in them attacking areas. Centre midfield, for me, is sticking out like a sore thumb. I banged the drum before the season. I'll bang the drum again now. I think there's certain games you need to play 3 midfielders. We just get overrun in there. We haven't got the legs. Sam Morsey has been an absolute wonderful captain, a wonderful player for Town, but I think he's struggling. I think he's struggling in the midfield. Jens Kajust, I didn't think he was very good against Brighton, and it was probably as poor as he was yesterday. He can't play more than 60 minutes, which is a real problem. Calvin Phillips, another one. He's been a massive letdown for me. A massive letdown since we signed him. I remember when we signed him that morning, I was in Rome and I'm thinking, we're signing Calvin Phillips. There's no way Calvin Phillips is coming to town. When he's come to town, and he's just not shown anything like what he did have in his locker. Will he ever be that player that he was at Leeds? I'm starting to doubt that, because he spent 2 years at Man City and he didn't play. Massimo Luongo, another one, came on yesterday. Been absolutely fantastic for Ipswich Town. But Mass isn't the future. And then there's Jack Taylor, who's a little bit different. But I don't think Jack Taylor is ever going to be a starter in a Kieran McKenna 11. He's off the bench. He's bright. He's looking to play forward. But I don't ever see him as a starter, especially in a 2. If you play a 3, possibly. But I still think that's a massive area of the pitch that we haven't. Well, we have addressed it because we signed Kajust and we signed Phillips. But I think we need someone in there, and it's easy to say. But you look at the Brighton model. They find these players and then they sell them on for millions. Casido, Baliba in there, physical, athletic, can carry the ball, can get you up the pitch, has got the legs, all the things at the minute which we haven't got in the centre of the midfield, I'm afraid. But I don't think that's going to be something we're going to address now in the window. I'm not sure where else we go in the window now. You could say we need a goalkeeper. I think the goalkeeper's another weak point. Walton yesterday, not a lot he could do. The third goal he probably should save, but is Christian Walton a better goalie than Muric? I don't think he is. I think you've got 2 average goalkeepers there. But, yeah, I'm struggling to be positive this morning. We've lost 6-0 at home to Man City, and we can wax lyrical about Doku was great yesterday. Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland, Foden. They've got so many players that are so good, and it was so easy for, like, Diaz and Akanji in defence, and Edison had a couple of saves to make, claimed a couple of free crosses, but it was a pleasure to play them. I didn't enjoy losing 6-0, and nobody should enjoy losing 6-0. We should enjoy these teams coming to Portman Road, but we just have to be better when we go to Anfield on Saturday. I think I said before, I think there was too many changes to the lineup. I get that there was a short turnaround from the Brighton game on Thursday, but nowadays players too pampered. Can't play a couple of games in a short space of time, have to manage minutes. We need to find our best 11, and we need to be sticking with it. I know injuries, we've had a lot of injuries, and that has hampered us. But defensively, we're changing. Obviously, Wolfie was in and he done quite well. Now he's out. Burgess was back in yesterday for Jacob Greaves. It's probably a good game to miss if you're Wolfie and you Greaves yesterday. But you've got another bright spot yesterday was obviously Axel coming back, which was good. He's probably one of our best defenders, so he's got the competition there now with Ben Godfrey. Right hand side, yesterday defensively we did struggle. They got in behind us several times in that first half. Look, Ben Godfrey, it was his debut in the league. He'd played against Bristol Rovers, so it was a tough introduction. And yeah, look, I'd struggle to give a man in the match on that performance yesterday. I don't think the sponsors, they didn't announce one. And I don't think a player really wants a man in a match when you've lost 6-0. But it was a real struggle. Obviously, it's give the goal difference a bit of a hit. Obviously, we're now 6 behind Wolves, who go to Chelsea tonight. So we're hoping that Chelsea can do us a favour. But this season will not be defined by defeats against Manchester City and Liverpool and Arsenal and teams like that. It's when, in a couple of weeks' time, when we play Southampton at home, it's an absolutely huge game for Town. It's a must-win game, that is. But we do need to look at the next game, and it's Liverpool, who are obviously flying. They're top of the league, 1-2-0 away at Brentford on Saturday. So we go there on Saturday at 3 o'clock. It's going to be a really tough game. We're going to have to make it difficult. We're going to have to defend for our lives. We're going to have to sit in, and it might not be pretty. But when we do get the ball, we've got to break out. And we've probably got to give Liam Delap a little bit more help. We cannot be just relying on him to get the goals this season. He's got 8 in the league. Sammy Smodics has got 4. That's 12 goals out of the 20. We are not scoring enough goals. I don't think this is rocket science. we're not scoring enough. Wolves, that's why they've probably got a little bit of a better chance than we have at the minute, because I know they're conceding quite a lot, but they do score, you know, and it's obviously goals that make difference in games and goals that win games. So we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, let's not be too doom and gloom. Cheers for watching. 160 likes. Hit the subscribe button. With the next port of call, we're going to go for 8,300. So if you do not subscribe, just click that button. It's absolutely free. Share it with your mates. And if you know any fans of other teams who'd like listening to someone talk about football, get them over here. Anyway, painful defeat. Dust ourselves down. Park that one. Look forward to Liverpool away on Saturday. Tough game. I don't know if there'll be any more transfer action this week. If there is, I'll drop a video. But yeah, let's just remember where we've come from and where we are now. And I know we can say, but you've got to forget all that, Rich. I do know that. But as a football club, we have moved massively quickly. And you're probably going to get defeats like yesterday. Anyway, cheers for watching, guys. And I will see you on the next video. Have a great Monday.